Um, Here are some confessions that I wanted to make. Uh, I guess one, which might not be a confession because I read in my book, is that I feel really uncertain about myself. And because of I really do believe the things that I read in my book. So, like, even though I do believe that I'm reasonable and rational, um, in my suicide, I can't help but feel like it's probably wrong. Not even morally, but like just from maybe an epistemological standpoint, because I talk about in, uh, I think it's 2.6, The Ethics of Belief, in my book, uh, about the ethics of belief. Like, I think we do have, for people who care about knowledge and reason and stuff, like, we have an epistemic duty to justify ourselves before acting, especially in um, in proportion to the action itself and the belief. Um, and I feel like even with all the research that I've done, even with all the arguments that I've like gone through, I still might not be justified, and that sucks. Um, Even though I don't think I'm crazy, I, I sometimes wonder, like a lot of people over the years have thought that I had um, some form of autism, like that I was on the spectrum of some kind. Usually, before when it was still a thing, a lot of people thought I had Asperger's, um, and a lot of people humor me with my jokes, and I often wonder, like, am I the autistic kid in a group of people who are just nice enough to go along with it, go along with all the stuff that I say? That would suck. Um, yeah, intuitionally, I'm for authenticity to a great extent, as I write in chapter 10. But and then like maybe I'm delusional. Okay, maybe like how do you prove to someone who has hallucinations that are vivid and that um are coherent? So like somebody who lives in a small town who hallucinates having a car, and every time that they walk to work, they have the hallucination that they're driving to work, like, and they never like bring it up with anybody else, so it never like gets in their way. Like, how do you prove? You can't. The whole point of my whole, I was trying to make an analogy of somebody who, um, like lives in such a way that their hallucination never gets in the way of their life. And then I was going to ask the question, how do you prove to that person that they're wrong, or how does that person ever figure out that they're delusional? Well, you can't. The whole my whole analogy was based around how it doesn't interfere with the life, so then you can't. And I often wonder, am I crazy? Like, society seems to think so. Society seems to think that just because I have depression, then I'm mentally ill, that I have a neurological imbalance, that there's something wrong with my neurology, that it's not really me who's talking or doing things. Maybe, and I can't just say they're right because that's just like a bandwagon fallacy. Like, yes, it could be that everybody else is wrong. And I'm not saying that everybody else thinks that way, but it could be that the majority are wrong. It could be that psychiatry as a whole, as far as it does propagate those ideas, and I think it does, is wrong. But, like, I don't think that I'm justified to assert such things. I'd also like to confess that, like, I'm happy about, like, my suicide. Like, yeah, it makes me cry when I think about the harm that I'm going to be doing to people. And when I wrote my goodbye letters, like, that hurts so much. I cried. My roommate was gone that night, and good thing too, because I bawled all night long writing. Um, but for all that, I've been getting so happy as the day draws nearer. It feels good to think that pretty soon all the harm that I experience every day is going to be over. Like, I've actually been my more asshole-ish self because of my happiness um, lately, uh, because I take more risks when I'm happy. Um, and like, I just feel relieved, you know? I I wish that I didn't have to hurt people, but I don't regret my decision. I'm looking forward to it. I really think that tomorrow's going to be such a beautiful day. By the way, that's a good movie. It's Such a Beautiful Day. It's on Netflix and it's critically acclaimed. You should definitely watch it. I was going to do a review on it, but I don't have the time for that to rewatch it again and like point out parts that I particularly love. But it's a good movie. Please watch it. It's existentialist, and there are some parts that are really good and some parts that are just like, yeah. But um, I really have nothing against existentialists. I really don't. I kind of pick on them though. Um, let's see. Anything else I want to confess? Oh, I confess that I'm probably a terrible bigot. I do this in chapter 10 too, but like seriously, like I agree that there's institutional racism. I agree that there's institutional sexism. I think that the gender gap exists, but only in certain like areas and not for all women and not for all races, people of color. Like I think that like in some areas there like sports teams, for example, like women are paid underpaid, or like in the movie industry, women are less paid than men. Like, and it's disgusting and it's awful. But for people who like claim things like that all women make or on average women make 70% to men, like I disagree with that. Like I've looked at the study and it's poorly done. It's outdated and it doesn't take other factors into consideration. Some of those factors are themselves racist and some of them aren't, like or sexist. I I try to have good reasons for the beliefs that I do, but I'm just I can't help but feel that I'm just this idiot. That no matter how much I try and prove myself that I'm smart, I never will be. Um, let's see. I also, concerning the crazy thing, um, maybe it's crazy for me to. I personally would rather say that it's subjective and there's nothing wrong with it inherently, but maybe I am insane because I get stressed out by things like work and financial stress that other people can just deal with. Maybe that's why I'm crazy. Maybe it's crazy for me to um like not like annoying people. I mean, obviously I'm not saying that normal most people enjoy annoying people, but I'm saying enjoy themselves when they annoy others. But I'm saying uh maybe it's crazy because maybe I'm crazy because not only do I dislike it when I annoy people, but I hate myself whenever I realize that I'm annoying someone else. Maybe that's why I'm crazy. I don't think that that's crazy, but maybe. Um, Maybe I'm crazy because I had an imaginary friend throughout all of my childhood, even into a year of adulthood. Like, maybe.